Hello and welcome back to the Georgia's Live podcast. This week I have a wonderful interview with Opal Agafia. She has a show here at Georgia's Majestic Lounge on this Saturday. But before we get to that, you can go online to georgiasmajesticlounge.com or georgiaslive.com, either one of those. And you can find out what shows are coming up as well as purchase tickets for shows. You can go on to Instagram at Georgia's Majestic Lounge. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Georgia's Majestic. And be sure to rate and subscribe and review. Tell your friends about the podcast. Go back and listen to old interviews we've done. We've had Victor Rutan, Marty Stewart, Steve Kimmock, Delbert McClinton. I've been fortunate enough to talk to some amazing people. And here's another one right here, Opal Agafia. It's been super cool watching her career the last few years and seeing where she's at. She just did a wonderful performance at Hillberry. You can go find a video with her on the stage with the Handmade Moments folks, and just super cool, super chill, super nice interview. Everybody go listen to Opal Agafia and go to her show this Saturday. You can go to georgiaslive.com for tickets there. So let's go ahead and take you there. Here is Opal Agafia on the Georgia's Live concert, on the Georgia's Live podcast. I am back on the Georgia's Live podcast, and I am here with Opal. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I've just had my coffee. I'm ready to go.
I know. I think I just now had like a whole pot myself.
I feel like I'm going to have to make a new one. I'm excited.
So you got a show coming up this weekend here at Georgia's.
Yes,
and
November 9th.
Let's talk about that for a second. You guys are also doing a vinyl release?
We're doing vinyl pre-sale because the vinyls didn't get in time.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get here in time. Wah, wah, wah. But that's okay. We're offering some really awesome deals to kind of offset that inconvenience. It is a live album, and we will have vinyls available within the month.
Okay.
And we're having a digital release on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
So it's kind of just celebrating just new music. And, you know, it's titled Opal Agafia Live in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And, you know, it was recorded by Arlie Stiles at our last Georgia show in February. And it was mixed and mastered by Darren Crisp, who's also from Fayetteville. So it's kind of just, I'm really excited about getting the live take with so many people involved.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially all of that dropping in the same day. How exciting.
Yeah, it's a lot. But I'm excited.
Whenever you guys recorded this, did you know that you were going to be recording it for a live album, or did you just like what you captured, or how'd that come about?
Absolutely not. We had no idea we were going to do it. Arlie played, like, when everybody's gone out of Georgia's at the end of the night, you know, we're packing up our stuff, loading everything, and Arlie just started playing it back over the speakers in the venue. Mm-hmm. And the guys, like, I was like doing all business stuff, and like Isaac Palmer, who does our lights for us, and he's really amazing. And our band and Arlie they were just all talking about the sound quality, like, and how tight the show was. And it was just like, you know, this could be a live album. And I started listening, and I was like, oh my gosh, this really could be a live album. And I was like, it was kind of incredible seeing the difference between studio recording and high quality live album sound, you know, like live recording.
Yeah, capturing the energy a little bit more, I'm sure.
Yeah, so we just decided, you know, let's try it out. And we sent it over to Darren Crisp, and he put some magic on it and kind of, you know, edit out. Because it comes like as a whole track. So we have to make each song individual and everything like that. But I think I'm really excited about it. Yeah, it turned out the essence of what we're bringing to our live shows comes out in this album.
Nice. Well, I know,
which is important to me.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people excited to hear it as well, and to be here on Saturday. You also have a few people opening the show. You've got Jamie Lou and the Hullabaloo and Brian Martin on the show. That's pretty cool.
I'm so excited about that too. Brian will go on at 8, I believe. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Mm-hmm. I don't have my notes with me.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And he's a great singer-songwriter. His voice is amazing. Jamie Lou, the same goes for her. She goes on at 9. And just the styles that are going to be happening all in one night. It's going to be a magical evening for music and listeners and the artists. Like this group, this is my dream team right here. As far as like a night, if I were to go out myself, I would definitely go see both of them. So I'm just happy to have them on board. They're both so incredible, and yeah, I love them.
So you've kind of got some new additions to your lineup. Can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah. Well, my same violin player or fiddle player, Michael Scambry. You know, he's my partner, and he's still with me.
He's a staple in our musical community here in Northwest Arkansas too.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And then Ron Landis, our dobro player. He's been there since the beginning. My rhythm section has changed, so I've got some new guys. I've got Don Mayall coming from Memphis, Tennessee. He used to live in Fayetteville, but now lives in Memphis, and he's making the travel each time. It's kind of amazing. He's a drummer, and I love him. And then I have Van Powell, who studies music at the U of A. He's my bass player.
Van's great. I love Van. He's the man.
Yeah, he can play a mean upright, and he can play a mean electric. I love playing with Van. My new guitar player is Elijah Brinston. He's actually a mandolin player who's transferred over to guitar for this band, and he's a young player, so it's really amazing to see him grow and be a part of that.
Have you noticed any changes in older songs with new players on them, kind of taking on a different life or not a different direction, but just kind of tweaked it in a different way?
Always. That's if somebody comes and sits in. It's almost like these songs are so, you can do whatever you want with the time you have. And so when a player comes in and they take their moment to shine, they add their flavor, and the song, it's like listening to the song for the first time again to me. I think yes. I think that, you know, the songwriting part and maybe the overall vibe of the song stays the same, but there's definitely an element that's different each time.
Yeah, that makes it
so
fun.
Yes, I would have to say yes. Styles are different. You know, each player's got a different style. You know, what I like about my rhythm section right now is that, you know, they're really, if I, like, you know, these are all original songs. So, like, if I tell them what I want in a song, you know, I only have to tell them one time and they get it right away. It's amazing because I actually am not, I'm self-taught vocally. And so communicating, like, musical terms with people can be kind of a communication barrier for me. So these guys, they pick it up, and I've been blessed to work with a lot of people like that, and it's really helped me grow as a musician.
How did you get your start in writing and playing music? Well,
and I want to say I started writing songs the end of my senior year of high school, and you know, it seemed like kind of a pipe dream. I would say, like, a lot of my family didn't really support it, and you know, you deal with that. So I continued to go to college, and I went to school for business, and I just kept writing, like, songs in my little notebook, you know, and just kept, my mom got me a guitar finally, and so I just, all through college, I just started writing, and then when she got involved, she's a historian. My mom, her name's Deanna Smith, she's a co-writer with me. So,
nice.
Yeah, so she, you know, I write some songs on my own, she writes some songs, and then we co-write songs. It's kind of amazing. Once that became a thing, I started getting excited. I was like, okay, this isn't a pipe dream. I can really do it. I just needed to prove to myself and that, you know, I can make this a reality. So I finished college, kept my mom really involved. She's a historian, so a lot of her songs are like, I don't know, they're next level in my
have some
in my
cool
mind.
References to.
Yeah, I mean, she really has a beautiful outlook on a lot of things, and maybe a kind of, I don't know. I could talk more about that, but I want to make sure I say the right thing.
Yeah, I feel you. Whenever I bet that's got to be rewarding for you to come from. I mean, you weren't like old, but like to come into to be writing and kind of be sitting on wanting to be able to write these songs, and then to be then getting the guitar, then writing, then to be performing, and to be where you're at now. We're releasing music online and playing shows everywhere. That's got to be really rewarding for you to, you know, be able to remember whenever you didn't have that, and now to have that release. I bet that's got to be super cool.
You know, it is, and I really appreciate the growth. Sometimes, you know, like anything else, like there'll be days when I don't realize it. Like I'm striving so hard to get to the next, like, I wouldn't say the next level, but so many levels into
accomplish your goals and whatnot.
Yes, and I have so many, and it just keeps growing. So sometimes it's hard to like remember where, like, just in 2015, I was sitting on a couch with a guitar in my hand, and then now I moved to Eureka Springs, and I found a community, and I just started hustling. You know, I just started finding new musicians and working with them, and really, I will say, working with all these musicians has helped me. Like the seasoned musicians I've been able to work with, it's helped me grow so much faster.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would have been as ready for that kind of growth mentally if I had started before 22. I don't know. Like, it's a lot to take on to come in and just hire people that have been doing it for as long as you've been alive.
Especially from your angle. I mean, I'm a drummer, so I usually, in most of the time in a band, I'm usually doing the kind of the business side, just because I do graphics and stuff like that, and kind of do the booking. But like being the leader of a band, that's a big on-taking. I've talked to singers that I play with, and they'll say something to me now where I just don't even think about it, to where, you know, one time I got checked by one of my singers, and he was like, hey, the rhythm section needs to be tight because, you know, it was a 3-piece, and if I'm going to be up here singing and playing guitar, I need to know that you guys have my back musically. And it just blew my mind, because it's something you don't think about that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't, from my point of view, but I know that's something that probably every, you know, anybody that's leading a band would be thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, totally. And the music's just the beginning of it, you know, as far as being the leader. I'm still DIY, so that means I'm still working all these other ends. I'm still the manager, the booker, I'm self-funded, so I have other jobs to help me keep this going. That's just the beginning of it. And like, once you put all those pressures into one little, I guess, human being, you know, it can be hard. Like, and then when it comes show day, you know, they're ready to rock. So of course they want a tight backing, and they want, you know, it's never just one thing. That's what's so crazy with what I'm doing. It's never just one thing. I've always got so much on my mind. So it's such a relief to work with people who, you know, knows that, they're aware of that, and they're ready to work with you. And they know what, you know, especially with like any music, but original music, like my songs, you know, if we have some slip ups, I'm like, kind of okay. But like, if it comes to one of my mom's songs, I'm like, we can't have any slip ups. Like, that's just, you know, and is that weird?
No. There's a lot more weight. There's a lot more emotional value whenever you put on that. It's kind of the difference between, I say this a lot because obviously, I mean, I play in some cover bands and I play with original bands, but there's a separation of whenever you promote one, to where the cover band is kind of, or just kind of like live songs. Like if it's an original song that you kind of wrote just because it's a banger live, and you really didn't put lyrical. Your lyrical content is a little bit more loose, and you don't have as much of emotional tied to it. It's more about the performance in the show. But whenever you're writing about something that's a matter of the heart, that has that much emotion into it, you want to make sure that your message is coming across. You have a lot more in the approach of what you're doing. That totally makes sense, because I know there's a few songs that I've played with bands to where I know, you know, the singer is singing about something that's really real to them, that was a real life experience, and I wouldn't want to be disrespectful by messing that up. It's definitely a feeling. It's not weird.
Well, and and even more so, it's just like, you needed to go back to what you're saying about needing a tight backing. It's like, when you're singing about something so vulnerable, and it's not a song that you've heard all your life, you know, like it's something fresh, and that you've really got to focus on delivering it sometimes.
You only get 4.5 minutes or so to get your message across.
Yeah, but you know what? I've learned, and I've had other like mentors tell me before, you know, your audience is forgiving. So if you just get out there and go for it, it's almost better than just trying to be cookie cutter. So I try to keep a fine line between, you know, running a tight ship and, you know, letting us experiment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
But there are certain songs that I'm like, oh, you have to play that part exactly like this, because, and it's usually my mom's song, because I'm just so weird about it.
Nah, yeah, I think that's cool though. Talk about your new merch. You've got all kinds of new hats and all kinds of new stuff.
Yeah, we just got all of our new merch in for this show that we'll be releasing at the show this Saturday. The designs were done locally by Drew Smith and Carly Snell. And then I got them printed at Backwoods Rags in Fayetteville. And then my nanny actually embroiders all my hats here in Eureka Springs.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Yeah, so I try to keep it home based. And cool. We have new T-shirts, new hats, and also the vinyl that you'll be able to get, which a lot of those designs match each other. So it's like one big collection I'm putting out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And, you know, none of this could have really happened without the help of a lot of friends and, you know, knowing people. So, like,
it's fun to do whenever you have a network of loved ones that you're working on something with that support your vision too and want to help out.
Yeah, I think that's what's so beautiful about our community in Northwest Arkansas, is that everybody brings something to the table, and you know it's a community. You know, we need it all.
Selfless.
Like merchandise. Yeah, and speaking, since we're talking about merch, you know, that's something that helps us on the road, like, tremendously. You know, it's amazing to be able to sell something that somebody made that's just the next quality, you know, as the next guy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It's really amazing.
Especially when they start showing up with your shirts.
Oh, yeah.
That's it, stuff like that. It's like, that's a next level of support. There's like little levels, and you know, they show up at every show, and then
they got to get each shirt. It's amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Merchandise, you know, you get to display your local artists. You know, your music inspires their art for you. And then it's also becoming part of your brand, and people get to wear it. Like, we have Nobody's Old Lady shirts. We have them bone shirts. It goes with the songs, you know? And it's just, the collection's so nice. And I'm really excited about it.
Well, awesome.
I did want to mention something about this Saturday.
Yeah, go for it.
For our show at George's, Jamie Seed, who is a local badass.
Yeah, he's one of the best photographers around.
Yeah, he's amazing. And he actually helped me with the digital part and collecting all the artwork and digitizing it and getting it ready for my vinyl, which, you know, that's not an easy task, especially with me. I'm kind of picky and I don't know what to do. But I'm like not computer savvy at all. But he did a great job, and he's going to be recording a live video of one of our songs this Saturday.
Oh, cool.
So we're doing a live music video this Saturday. And we'll have a light show by Isaac Palmer, and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, Isaac's the man on the lights. Sounds like it's going to be a top-notch show. If anybody wants to hear your music or anything, where can they go online to check out your stuff?
Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Pandora, Amazon Music, I believe.
Nice.
I think, yeah, all the hit places. I like Spotify a lot because I can, like, I don't know, you kind of have a little bit more.
Yeah, I do too. I like Spotify a lot.
I love Spotify. Yeah, I do.
Especially adding the podcasts. They really knock down a lot of walls by adding podcasts directly to it, and then making it where you can add your podcast directly to Spotify. It used to be some hurdles and stuff if you did a podcast to get it on there. and having that be such a big platform. It's really been super cool with this podcast and other ones that I've done. That's really knocked down some walls in that world as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think Andy Frasco has a podcast now.
Yeah,
that's out there.
Mm-hmm. He's got one on there
as
well.
The World Saving.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Yeah, he's killing it.
It's been pretty cool. I've been looking for a lot of different artists that have podcasts and kind of do behind the scenes stuff. It's crazy how many people have one because they're so easy to do, kind of while you're going down the road in a bus type scenario.
Yeah, I know. I will say I'm usually not very good at interviews, but this is just so easy because I feel like I'm just talking to you like. Friend on the phone.
That's what I try. That's how I try to keep it. I try to keep it as loose as possible, especially if somebody I know, like I follow your career and I follow pretty much everybody in town just because I'm so interested in it. So it's exciting to me. So it's fun for me. Like I get to ask people questions that I legitimately want to know about. So
yeah, that's awesome, and we appreciate it. All of us do.
Well, I appreciate it, and we're definitely looking forward to the show this Saturday, and I appreciate you coming on the Georgia's Live podcast with me and chatting. And
yes.
It's been fun. I enjoy watching your career. I really do, and I'm excited to see what
Travis.
you got next.
Yeah, we're learning as we go.
Awesome. Well, thank you, and I will see you on Saturday.
All right. Bye, Travis. Thanks.
Later.